All right, I don't feel like doing an intro again, so today we're gonna be going over rep ranges 101. Here's everything that you need to know in order to pick your rep ranges, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced lifter. Here's why you should be choosing this rep range, or here's why you should be doing these sets and reps. And yeah, everything you need to know about reps. Here you go. So, starting us off, rep ranges. A rep range is just how many reps you can do in order to grow muscle, right? It's a range of a repetition. What's a repetition? A repetition is a completion of a full range of motion, right? So if you have a movement, whether it be maybe a bicep curl, a full rep would be from the starting position to the contracted position, back down to the starting position, right? So stretch, contract, stretch. For any muscle group, that's gonna be one complete rep. So now that we know what one rep is, how many times do you have to stretch and contract in order to build muscle? Well, we'll get into that, right? So let's start off with our goals, right? There are two main goals when it comes to picking rep range. So let's start off with goals real quick. So our goals are gonna look like this. Strength and toning. Oh my God, we love the word toning around here. Yay! Okay, let's break down what strength is. First off, if we want to build strength, what is strength? Strength is literally just building muscle and technique, right? And having better technique. All right, so let's first break down what strength is. Strength is just building muscle and having better technique, right? So if our goal is to build more muscle and have better technique, we're going to get stronger. A product of that is to get stronger, right? So if our goal is to build strength, what we really need to be focusing on is building more muscle mass and having better technique. Why? Because when you have better technique, you're able to be more stable and you're able to recruit more motor units into your muscle fibers and recruit more muscle fibers so that way you can generate more force, right? So you can take the existing muscle tissue that you have and make it more efficient at contracting. It's basically what we mean by building better technique. Now, and a result of that is getting stronger. So when we build muscle, so say we've maxed out our technique. Our technique is pristine, is amazing. At that point, if we're not getting stronger and we've plateaued, we need to then build more muscle in order to get more muscle fibers to then recruit more motor units and then have more strength, right? The more muscle fibers you have, the more force you can generate. It's just how the body works. Now, to all those people that say, oh, well, I'm a bodybuilder. Bodybuilders aren't strong, but they have a ton of muscle. They have empty muscle. That's complete BS. It's not true, right? If you have more muscle, you're going to be able to recruit more muscle fibers and lift more weights. The reason why some powerlifters are stronger than some bodybuilders is because they train specifically with better technique. Their technique is specifically designed for as much motor unit recruitment as possible through their current muscle fibers. But if you saw a bodybuilder that had powerlifting technique, he's gonna be strong as hell. And there's lots of powerlifters / bodybuilders that do compete in both sports, and 9 times out of 10, the bodybuilder is stronger. Anyway, that's a discussion for another topic. So if your goal is to build strength, what should your rep range be, right? If you have bad technique, you want to do more reps, right? So we'll say anywhere between 8 reps and 15 reps is going to be good for us. Let me draw that 5 better. 15 reps. Why 15? Because if we know that the total rep range for building muscle is anywhere between 5 reps and 30 reps, you can build muscle in anywhere in there, right? We know that we want to be maximizing as much motor unit recruitment as possible so we can then stimulate more muscle growth without generating a ton of fatigue. Now, fatigue happens to the muscle when you do a lot of repetitions because, as we know, the more reps you do, the more muscle fibers you break down, which accumulates muscle damage. Muscle damage does not equal hypertrophy. Hypertrophy and muscle damage are two different things. The only thing that is signaling hypertrophy is having better, as having more mechanical tension. But if you do more muscle damage on top of that added mechanical tension, your body first has to fix the damaged muscle tissues in order to then add new muscle tissues on top of those muscle tissues. So we want to minimize the amount of fatigue or muscle damage we're generating, so we're making our recovery process a lot easier, and we're only going to be stimulating growth in that 8 to 15 rep range for technique. We don't want to go higher than 15 because it's just going to be pointless, right? If you have as you practice the technique, you're gonna be getting pretty good technique is if you're doing as upwards of 8 to 15 reps. So 8 to 15 reps to build technique. If your sole focus is just to build more muscle, you only need to be training, obviously 5 to 30. We can build muscle anywhere in there. I like to shoot on the 6 to 8 rep range, personally. 6 to 8, we'll say. Simply because it allows for the best margins when it comes to stimulus to fatigue ratios. Your technique is already amazing at this point. If you're focusing on nice control eccentrics, explosiveness on the way up, you only need 6 solid reps with a heavy weight that you're failing at that 6th rep in order to signal new muscle growth, right? As long as we hit that involuntary slowing of the concentric portion of the movement, you're going to be great. You're going to be fine. You're going to build as much muscle as possible. And because we're doing such low rep range, we're not going to be signaling we're not going to be generating as much muscle damage. We're not going to have a chance to tear down as many micro tears in the muscle. And we're not going to have a lot of fatigue from lactic acid buildup from doing excessive amounts of reps. So this is going to be awesome when it comes to building muscle efficiently. But you can still build a great amount of muscle in the 8 to 15 rep range as well. You'll just do it better with less fatigue in the 6 to 8 rep range. Okay, cool. So that's for strength. What is toning, right? Muscle toning. Let's first take a look at that. Toning equals fat loss, those are S's, that's A, plus build muscle. That's not an S. Man, I'm dyslexic. Give me a break. I don't want to hear it. Muscles. Okay? Fat loss plus building muscles. Cool. That's what toning is. As we get more tone or more lean, and sometimes toning isn't even building more muscle. Sometimes toning is just doing a cut, right? You can get more lean, look more tone, guys, as you lose body fat percentage. It's really that simple. But when people say toning, they're either don't know too much about what the gym even is, or they're just trying to rage bait you, which is something that I get all the time, and I get really mad about it when I hear someone say, oh yeah, I'm just trying to tone. Yeah, guys. Or you go to like the family reunion and people are there and they're like, oh wow, you've gotten really big. I don't want to look as big as you though. I just want to look more tone, get some nice tone muscle. Like, shut up, dude. Shut up. I don't want to. God. Ugh. Okay, anyway. So toning is just fat loss plus muscle building. How do we do this? And what's a good rep range for this? First off, fat loss we know is just calorie deficit. So I'm not gonna spell calories, right? You know that. All right, calorie deficit, cool. Fat loss equals just calorie deficit, and to build muscle, we're gonna go all the way here, and our rep ranges are gonna be right there. That's all building muscles, right? We know this. So, for our goals, if our goal is to tone, we need to be in a calorie deficit and eat less food than our body is expending, and we just need to build more muscle. It's really that simple. The hard part is how can we implement systems into our day-to-day lifestyle in order to make that happen, right? The biological mechanics that make this happen are very simple. It's literally just build more muscle and lose fat. You're going to get more toned. It's just not the easiest thing to do, especially if you're a big back that likes to go and eat a double cheeseburger every single day at McDonald's because it tastes good. Like, put down the fork, man. So we have ways in order to fix that, and we have great techniques to help with fat loss and to put yourself in a calorie deficit. But if anyone tells you otherwise, in order to lose weight, that you need to not be in a calorie deficit, or you need to drink this herbal tea, or you need to do all this other crazy stuff, just it's not going to be good for you. Or you're lowering your metabolism. Your metabolism is simply your BMR plus your total daily expenditure. That's all your metabolism is. It's really it. And I'll do that in another video. What is metabolism? Why is metabolism a fake thing, a fraud, whatever? But the bottom line is reps 101, we'll get back on topic. You can build reps, goddamn. You can build muscle in the as low as 5 reps and as much as 30 reps rep range, right? You can build muscle there. If we want to be more specific, to build more strength is made up of 2 things. You can get stronger by getting better technique and by getting more muscle mass. So in order to do that, if you have bad technique, you need to be training in the 8 to 15 rep range, so you can get as many reps under your belt as possible, because the more times you do repetitions, the better technique you're going to get at it. The more neurological pathways you can connect, so where you can have those movement patterns down and get better technique, right? You want more practice to do something. It's a skill, just like riding a bike is a skill. You're not going to be good at riding a bike at first, but the more times you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And we want to give ourselves as many chances as possible to do the movement so we can get better at it, okay? And to build muscle, 6 to 8 rep range is going to be the best bang for your buck. Stimulus to fatigue ratio checks out because we're doing enough reps in order to stimulate hypertrophy via mechanical tension, but we're not doing too many reps that we're getting a lot of muscle damage and lactic acid buildup, as well as just generating a lot of fatigue in the muscle as well. So you can recover faster, but build more muscle on top of that as well. So love that. Now, if our goal is to tone, we know what toning is. Toning is just fat loss plus muscle building. If we already know muscle building is just 6 to 8 rep range, but you can also build muscle in the 8 to 15 rep range if you suck at technique, which in this case you probably do because you think it's toning, not building muscle. So you probably would want to focus on the 8 to 15 rep range if you're someone that is trying to build muscle, but you think toning is going to do it for you. And then just to lose fat, right? Just get lean. In that case, be in a calorie deficit. This is really that simple. And if you don't know how to do that, go ahead and watch this video where I go over solutions that actually work, and it's helped my dad lose 30 pounds in the past, 14 weeks, I want to say? 14 weeks, down 30 pounds by tracking his macros. If that sounds interesting, click this video over here. Hope this helps, and I'll see you guys in the next one.